Are we ready? Is everybody ready? We'll call this meeting of the Yuma Union High School District Number 70 Governing Board to order. If you'll all rise for a moment of silence in the pledge led by Mrs. Kravitz.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may all be seated. Thank you all for attending tonight. We appreciate having a full audience. Item 2.1, board members may have a discussion about conferences, visitations, legislation, special recognition, donations, etc. Does any board member have anything they would like to discuss? Mrs. Kravitz.
I have one, which is to thank all the schools for registration. I had the privilege of being able to go to a few campuses during registration, and it was wonderful. Thank you for the opportunity to pay for things online. That's
Any other board member? Okay, thank you. We'll move on. Item 2.2, update first week of school. Superintendent's report. Mrs. Thompson, you have 2 items on your report.
Yes. 2.2.1, I am really excited, and we have her in the house to introduce Miriam Limon from AEA Federal Credit Union. A little bit of information was in your background as she goes up, just to say a few words for us this evening. We have so many wonderful community partners in Yuma, Arizona, and that is how we accomplish great things. Miriam is not only a product of our school system, but she is a professional who now gives back in so many ways, and especially for us, attracting new teachers and new employees to our district, and then when they come, helping us to make them feel welcome in the true Yuma fashion with food. I can't say enough about her. I am honored to work with her, as well as on the Education Foundation board. She is the president this year. She just offers so much as a community leader and as a champion for students and education. So thank you for being here, Miriam, and love to hear from you this evening.
Oh, well, thank you. I feel very special. Thank you for the warm words. And we didn't just treat them to food. It was chili peppers. So that's genuine Yuma food. But yes, thank you guys for having me this evening. And education means so much to me personally, especially education here in Yuma County, but also to the credit union, not only as just a professional, so many of our staff are Yuma residents who have attended all of your schools, but also we're all parents, and we appreciate everything that you do and that all of the schools do to take care of our children. And just personally, as the mother of a now senior at Cibola High School, the way that everything has been handled through these very uncertain times, I have felt appreciative to have your leadership and protection over her. So thank you guys so much for having me this evening, and I look forward to the rest of the agenda. Thank you.
In closing that part with Miriam, I also want to give a few words from Mr. Patton that he wanted to make sure was known about Miriam, and that is that when she says, "I'm here, please don't hesitate to reach out," she then shows up and she asks what we need, and is just such an amazing woman and valuable partner. So thank you again. My next brief update is the numbers, school by the numbers, and giving you actual bodies in seats. So we have a registration number, and then students are, who attend, then there's the attendance numbers. You can see you have three columns: total enrolled students, absent totals of 3 or more, and then the total present. You can also see that the numbers continue to increase, both registration as well as total present. That does not, the absences may or may not be due to health situations. So what we look at right now is not only how many students are registered in our district, but we have the first 10 days before we have to do those drops. So phone calls go home to people who are absent 3 days or more on a continued rotation. But at this time, 10,505 bodies were in seats as of today, with the total enrollment of 11,834. Any governing board member or president have any questions?
What's the difference between last year at this time, do you know?
Anecdotally, we're right about the same place, and with all of our student types, whether it's migrant, general population, special education, a lot of conversations going on. But we also have Yuma Online Distance Academy is probably doubled in what we normally have, and we also have students, fragile individuals who are on homebound. So we have different circumstances and meeting those needs as quickly as possible. Yeah.
Any other questions for Ms. Thompson?
President Townsend, that concludes my report.
Very good. Thank you very much. Moving on. Next item is the budget update, overview of the 2021-22 Yuma Union High School District internal budget. And we do not have our normal speaker. We have somebody else tonight.
Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown.
It has been a while since I've been able to come, so it's good to see you all. I know your favorite finance person is here tonight. You need a break from Diane.
Tonight, you're our favorite.
Yes, of course. So on the budget, this is for the 21-22 fiscal year, so there's not a lot in there yet because this is only for July. But as an overview, the total M&O, so that's our supplies budget, things like that, salaries, total for that is $90,515,057. Through July, we spent $1,851,639, or about 2% of our budget. Now, as we hit August, our teachers are back, very exciting, and we'll start to see those salary costs come in and things like that, and we'll be spending for sure starting next month, or this month that we're now in. And then on our capital, we have a total budgeted amount of $16,084,734. Of that, we've spent $853,355 through the month of June, so about 5% of our budget. Any questions from the board?
Any questions? Thank you, Vet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Moving on to item 3.2, Safety Committee Annual Report.
Okay. Surprise, it's me again.
Mr. Brown gets to be here again today.
Yes, let me just flip to it. So tonight, the funds that I'm presenting tonight are awarded based on monthly meetings, semi-annual inspections, and the workers' compensation claims at each campus. The district safety committees include Associate Superintendent Lisa Anderson, the Chief Financial Officer, and various members of our campuses. So tonight, the proceeds that we receive, we award to each campus based on how they meet the metrics and things like that. So I actually have a little presentation here of the checks that we're going to give out to each campus. And if it's okay with you, Mr. Townsend, I'd like to, with Mr. Patton, get a picture with the representative from each campus as I present the check. Is that okay with you? Okay. So I'm going to go from lowest to highest, so we'll build up the excitement. Let me grab my first check. Okay. Of our 6 campuses, number 6 is going to be Yuma High. They received $3,900. So can I have Yuma High come on up? There you go. Oh, for sure. I did apply to be on Wheel of Fortune, so I've been practicing my Vanna White. Okay, our second to last place, our number 5th campus is going to be, that is San Luis for 4,200.
Get out.
Diane and I don't like to be photogenic anyway. All right, our third check is going to be Cibola High for 4,300. Okay. In third place, I know it's very exciting, is, administrators out there, Kofa High with 5,700. All right. I know, the moment we've been waiting for. Okay. In a shock twist of events, we have a tie. So, our two tying campuses for the most is Vista and Gila Ridge for 8,300 each. Wow, great job, guys. And I just want to say thank you so much to our campuses for the safe environments that we provide. Again, this tracks things like our workman's comp, and we're always striving to be a very safe district and do the best for our kids. So that concludes my award ceremony. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Moving on, or to the call to the public. Any person wishing to speak may present the information at this time only. All presentations are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes and a maximum of 15 minutes on each subject. Before you begin to speak, please identify yourself by clearly stating for the record your name. Comments by members of the governing board in response to any public comment will be limited to asking staff to review the matter or requesting rescheduling of the matter for further consideration at a later date. I have 3 that have filled out a form. First, Coralie Shinnick, and I've never pronounced your name right, and I'm
As I have said many times, everybody is forgiven. My mother never could pronounce it, and my son
I'll just call you Coralie if that's okay. Thank you, Coralie.
Coralie Schengnitz.
Schengnitz. I knew I was wrong.
But you were close, closer than most. I wanted to speak to 2 issues. I was at another school board meeting last night and was kind of appalled to learn that they are injecting children for this COVID madness. And I just had to speak to it. I don't know if it'll do any good, but you know, I'm fortunate enough to have had 3 sisters who are nurses and 3 nephews who are doctors who know a little bit about medicine. And all of us have used hydroxychloroquine when we travel, you know, and we've known that it's a perfectly good drug to use. And so I was shocked when they said that we couldn't use hydroxychloroquine, took it off the market even. And so the first thing I did when this broke out, was it 2 years ago? I don't even remember anymore. I went to Mexico and bought the whole hydroxy protocol, so I'd be ready. And I did eventually get it, and you know, I kicked the bitch out the back door, let me tell you. The other thing I wanted to say about it is that what we know about COVID is that, you know, this is a graph, okay? This is the graph of your chances of getting it. You know, younger children, a chance in a million of them being harmed by COVID, you know? It's just very rare. And then the older you get up to my age, you know, in the 80s, it becomes quite dangerous. Although we also know that most of those people in my age group you know, they have other comorbidities that they really die from. You know, we have heart attacks. I've had two. You know, we have all kinds of things. Now, the opposite thing is true about giving the vaccine. That graph goes like this, so that the older you are, the less harm you'll get from it, you know. But the younger you get, the more harmful it becomes. Your chances of being harmed by it increase as the younger you get. We don't get younger. I mean, anyway, it's much more dangerous. I do have a handout that I want to leave with you that talks about the problems, the many disasters that result from giving the COVID vaccine, and I hope that you will pay attention to it. The other thing I wanted to talk about was I haven't spoken to these matters before, but I was really appalled when my grandson graduated from a YUMA school thinking that socialism was a better alternative for government, and I'm like, what? And you know, we've had several discussions about it, but I think for someone to go through YUMA to a high school in our county, in the greatest country in the world, in the least racist country in the world, show me one that's less racist, you know, one that welcomes people from all over the world with open arms and gives them a chance to follow their dreams, and many of them do, you know. And for students to not get that message when they're in school, sometimes it's really appalling. Yes, we have some issues, you know, but we need to spend much more time on the wonders of this country that gives that freedom, that opens doors for everybody, that gives you a chance. That's why we had so many successes, is because of that freedom. So I just pray that our teachers and our schools will really reconsider that stand about how terrible this racist America is. I mean, a mother threw her baby over the wall in hopes that he would have a chance in America. I mean, do you remember that story? We have a big chance here. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Cora. Okay, I'll let Cora give us her handouts. Thank you. Gary, you didn't say what you want to talk about, but I'll let you talk. Gary Snyder.
Good evening, President Townsend and Governing Board, and everyone in the audience. My name is Gary Snyder. I live in San Luis, Arizona. Corley was mentioning another school district, elementary status, that we were there attending, and you know, obviously the fluency of how it should run isn't a normal thing. The issue she was talking about was they brought up that they want to put shot clinics in every school in Gadsden School District, plus rapid testing as well. So it is understandable that some kids with their parents are there. That's their choice, correct? But there's a lot of kids that live across the border that get sent to Gadsden School District that don't have permission with their parents as well. So we're implementing actually San Luis High School and other stuff like that, that I'm sure a lot of parents are worried about, you know, COVID because the pandemic is there. I'm sure when you guys signed up to be board members, that wasn't talked about in ASBA. Obviously, it wasn't there yet. I know it's a lot on your guys' plate, a lot of insurance, a lot of liabilities. It seems like it's getting us away from, you know, gelling together as a unit, as a school district, as a board, and as a residents. I believe, you know, it's open-mindedly from your guys' end to listen to some of the residents, to what they say. There's obviously a lot of information regarding, you know, COVID and stuff like that. We obviously want the best for our families, the best for our children, and help us God. And then we come to the race there, obviously CRT, equity, and stuff like that. I'm here just to give the opportunity for the residents that want to talk, because truthfully, it's good to hear from both sides. We know it's not easy for them, not easy for you guys, because you got a lot of pressure on your board, a lot of you know, stuff that has to deal with the lawyers and stuff like that. But most importantly, I think we need to gel together as a transparency, as a city, as a county, but most importantly, as a nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. And the third card I have is from Mr. Bruce Luna.
Good afternoon. My name is Bruce Luna. I have a son that attends Yuma High. Never in my wildest dreams, this is my third kid, that I had to be worried about his constitutional rights, his civil liberties, and pretty much the rest of the district. I brought up things different at different times. I've asked for your input. Parents have sent emails to the governing board, but no one's ever replied. Well, we made a mistake. We're going to change it. So enough's enough. Mr. Townsend, you have a notice of demand affidavit, malustration legal document here. It's for you and for the board. It's notarized. There are things in there that we need to fix, and we need to discuss. Okay? There's no more asking a kid where he or she's been around. It's none of your business, especially if they're a minor. That's unlegal seizure. You can't do that. Okay? You can't have administration people say, hey, you know what, if you don't get this shot, you might have to be there gone 10 or 14 days. That's not your business. You don't have that right. But you're coming up with policies or in-house, out-house, I don't know. But you can't do these things. And you're not going to do it to my son. So it's right here.
Thank you. That's all the cards I have. Is there anybody else that wanted to address the board? The board. If you want, we can. I'm sure we can find an attorney or somewhere and have a court. Okay, hearing none, we're going to proceed. Thank you all for coming and speaking tonight. Moving on, the consent items, adoption of items of a routine nature, and those that normally do not require deliberations on the part of the governing board. A board member may pull items which will be discussed and voted on separately. We do need to, on item, I'm not sure which one this is. Of which one, though? On the routine personnel. Item 5.2, 68 and 69. The start date should be 8/16/21, not 8/12/21. So is there a motion to adopt the consent items with those changes?
So move.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Ms. Kravitz, to adopt the consent items with the revisions of 5.2, number 68, 69, correcting the date to 8/16/21. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let me get my little magic thing to the right one. Okay. Action item 6.1, consideration to accept donations. I'll read the donations. To Gila Ridge High School, Miss Julie Long donated hand sanitizer to Gila Ridge High School for use by teachers, staff, and students. Estimated value of this donation is $400. Mr. Josh Marlette of Nutrient Ag Solutions donated fertilizer to Gila Ridge High School. The fertilizer is for use on all athletic fields, grounds, and common areas throughout the campus. The estimated value of this donation is $5,000. To Kofa High School, CDW Government donated a Samsung TV to Kofa High School. Donation is valued at $1,525.48. Miss Deanie Hinkle donated a variety of art books and magazines to Kofa High School to be used by the art class and art club for supplies. Estimated value of this donation is $400. Mr. Scott Bailey donated a set of golf irons to the Kofa High School Golf Club. Estimated value of this donation is $350. To San Luis High School, Miss Delia Castro donated 20 books to the San Luis High School Library. Estimated value of this donation is $200. It is recommended that the governing board accept the above listed donations. Is there a motion?
I move that we, the governing board, accept the above listed donations with gratitude.
Motion made by Ms. Kravitz, seconded by Mr. Lara, to accept the donations with gratitude. Is there any questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 6.2, consideration to approve the square footage. It is recommended the governing board revoke the resolution to reduce academic square footage that was previously approved at the May 12th, 2021 governing board meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Gonzalez, seconded by Mr. Lara, to revoke the resolution to reduce academic square footage that was previously approved at the May 12th, 21 governing board meeting. Ms. Thompson, would you like to further explain that?
Of course. This is in relationship to the academic space when we were reducing our square footage in order to continue to advocate for funding from the school facility board for our Somerton High School. Because we thankfully and with gratitude received funding through the governor's signature, as well as the advocacy of Senator Kerr and many others, we are not needing to revoke square footage and take away from any campus. We can continue to do our business of teaching and learning and build programs and build a new high school.
Any questions or comments or discussion?
Hallelujah.
Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item 6.3, consideration to approve revised Yuma Union High School District course descriptions. It is recommended that the governing board approve the revised Yuma Union High School District course descriptions. They were in your packet. There was a lot of pages. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Mellon, second by Ms. Kravitz, to approve the revised Yuma Union High School District course descriptions. Ms. Thompson, Ms. Anderson, anything you'd like to add?
Yes, I'll ask Ms. Anderson to speak specifically. It is a long document. We're a very large district and we have many, many opportunities and pathways for students to choose from. But we like to, and it is all posted online. But in order for you to completely know just what those changes are, Ms. Anderson's prepared to speak to the two.
Thank you. There are two revisions to the current course catalog, the 21-22 school year. One has, the first revision has to do with CTE course codes for internships, and that is a compliance requirement from the Department of Education. So we had to go through and revise the course codes that we were using for state reporting. The second change is the approval and addition of a course that was it's a pilot course at Vista only with Mr. Sergine and his team created a year ago. We piloted and monitored the course, collected data, and have officially approved it to move in as an official course for Vista, and it's a work study course, an OJT for Vista.
Any questions, comments, or discussion? Ms. Kravitz?
Is it just for Vista? Okay, it's just for Vista. And how long is the pilot program going to last?
It was a year, and so now we've moved it into an approved program for Vista only.
Perfect.
And the other campuses have something similar through through CTE programs.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 6.4, call for executive session. ARS 38-431.03A2 and ARS 15-843F, discussion or consideration of records exempt by law from public inspection and expulsion readmittance. Is there a motion to go into executive session? Motion made by Ms. Mellon, second by Mr. Gonzalez to go into executive session. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We will be going into executive session. I don't know how long it'll take. We'll be coming out. There are no other agenda items, but you're welcome to stay to watch us adjourn. Ms. Kravitz? Bye. Thank you. Okay. We are back in open session. That concludes our business. The next meeting of the board, regular meeting of the board, is Wednesday, September 8th, right here, 5:15. If there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you all very much.